We begin with the reading of Frederika's note on what it means to her to be a writer.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's lovely to be here, and I must say I'm really delighted to have been given this opportunity to read this note that Frederika has written. I've read it a couple of times, and I don't know Frederika, but I think I can firmly say that her personality really comes through even in this short sample. It's, I suppose, a personal expression of why she writes, but it's fairly self-explanatory, so I will just read it. When life offers you lemons, you make lemonade. I have been offered the gift of writing and being creative, and with this I try and reach out to people. I'm not saying writing is the only way to bridge a distance, but it's a powerful way to get through and break barriers. Powerful, yet subtle. Writing has the potential to change readers' views and beliefs, and it has done this. I myself have been influenced by the written word. Unlike spoken words, paintings, films, music, which can, and many a times do, blare into one's senses, writing does no such thing. It gently nudges its way into one's imagination. I love writing as it lets me express myself unhindered. When I write, I have no fear of whether the one reading will understand. There are billions of individuals across the world who have a passion for reading, and my writing is bound to be understood and liked by one or two among the billions, and if that happens, I'm happy. We see too many and too bold written works, too bold in the wrong way. It would be an extremely nice change if stories would be written in a not so audible manner, so as to excite readers' senses negatively instead of delightfully. I say this as a person who loves reading. I say it in the hope that, as in the ages gone by, writing once more takes precedence over every other recreational activity alongside reading, of course. As a writer, I work towards this aim. Writing is a gift to writers, and I wish to offer it as a gift to readers.
I was just going to say that such a beautiful piece and such a beautiful voice reading it didn't really need the mic. The novel is called Unforgotten, and obviously we can't read all of it here, but so you have an idea what the book is about. I'll read a few lines by Damodar Mauzo, where he has much to say, but I'm going to read just a few lines. Though this is her debut novella, Frederika writes of the world of pain and loss, forgotten laughter and remembered joys with such ease. She unfolds drama as she portrays Ian's innermost feelings break the surface when he parts with Nicole or when he meets Brendan with the quality craftsmanship. Her first attempt is commendable. Mario and I will read excerpts from a few chapters, and Frederika will have to forgive us. We would have liked to read more, but time constraints oblige us to restrict ourselves to a few pages. So we begin with chapter 1. Every day, she sits herself at her desk by the window of the tiny house she calls home. It is sparsely furnished, with room for plenty of memories, good and bad, happy and sad. The tiny house is a structure, one of its kind, standing for miles and miles alone, in a forest cut off from the peopled world, the world of pain and loss, forgotten laughter and remembered joys. To her, the world that is far is also close at hand, and her thoughts dwell upon it every day, hour and minute she's alone. Though I am and have been with her, by her side, like her own shadow, now for a while, we talk little. But when we do, it's about things that matter to her. It always rains where she lives. On the outside, the storm is forever raging, while within, there's not much of a difference except when she drifts off to a slumber and dreams. Mere moments of calm and warmth envelop her and her immediate surroundings. Would sleep only take her as a willing captive? Alas, it never does. And she awakens to the cold within and outside. Hugging herself, she stares out the window at the angry river the window overlooks. So like the tumultuous being she has become. She weeps. Not all her days are spent at the desk, but how many are not? If she were to count, but then again, who would she tell the numbers to? Only herself and me. For the company she keeps are those of memories. To them she can talk, only in dreams, and numbers are irrelevant, and the past has no interest in the present, even though the now relies on yesterday to get by. I am a presence unfelt, except when we speak. That's a portion of chapter 1. Mario will now continue.
Thank you, Silas. Chapter 5. In all of my time with her, it has happened just twice. She has gone walking in a light rain. The first time it happened, I was passing through the deserted land stretch where she lives. I was lost, having had some car trouble some way back in the nearest village, where I had left it with a local locomotive mechanic and had wandered off for a walk. And there she was, no older than now, singing a tune I knew nothing, yet something about. With a spring in her step, she walked along the dirt path leading to her house. The river is but a broad stretch of distance from the dirt path away. I recall, as I now walk beside her, as the skies please us with a light rain. I recall stopping a moment and watching her. Such joy she radiated that I felt compelled to join her and so come to be where I am. A stranger, a friend, a nobody, a somebody, if only she acknowledged me. It is not of importance, her acknowledgement. It is only a gesture, a word, a nod that will please my sentiment. Let me. I walk alongside her, and she expresses joy at something unknown to me. I ask her about it, and she says, I woke from seeing my fondest love in a dream. He was beside me. She smiles and reminds me of the first day we met, right on this very dirt path. Then too she must have dreamt the same dream. Where is he, I want to know? Is he still part of her life, of the world, or has he passed from being flesh and bone to being a ghost? But I keep silent, nod, and continue walking by her side. I smile at the tune she hums. She notices my expression of pleasant curiosity. my friend and fondest love, liked this song. I know not the words, as neither did he, but just the melody, like him. Then she goes on to tell me that this one person broke away from her life, like all the others had, and gave her more grief than a human can bear. The two were friends, and then more, until all of a sudden, he let go. I look up at the sky. The heavy rain clouds are still some way off. I hope this lasts some time longer, as it is rare, truly rare, to see her out of the tiny house, smiling and humming a song, the words to which she knows not. Her smile now is happy, touched with a mere tinge of pain. I know that however much I hope otherwise, when the walk nears its end and the last of the humming is done with, the rain clouds shall be overhead and the storm will once again begin. She will run indoors, calling me along as she did that first time. She will slowly sink into a quiet stance. Things will return to how they have been with her all this while. I intend not to stay this time, if only because I hurt too much to see her in pain, her own companion of misery in life. She lifts her face up to the softly falling rain and closes her eyes. She looks nothing like the woman who dwells within the tiny house she calls home. I watch her, transfixed. I finally know what she was like before she drew apart from the world, from life. Or do I?
Thank you. And the last portion of the very last chapter, 61. Clarice, what is it you think about? I ask her as she leans against the wall that forms one solid part of the cubicle. We are both sitting and she has her bundle open by her feet. In it are paper scraps and a discarded pencil, a few coins, and some clothes. She's quiet, lost to her world of thoughts. But I know she has heard what I've asked. What edibles she had gathered by begging are over. She hasn't really left the small space since I have found her. But for the absolute needs, and then to not very far from the dimly lit room where we are staying together yet separate from 3 other poor families. The bread and cheese I had bought at the store are quickly diminishing in quantity, and the biscuits and sweets too. I have to buy some more of everything, but I have bought, including a flashlight or some candles and a matchbox, and also bottled water from the general store outside. I long to take Clarice to the Lobos' home where it is safer, warmer, and cleaner, but I must wait for the right time. The others have, for most of the time, so far, kept away from us. I suppose they haven't really noticed me here because when I found Clarice, she was alone. The others were out begging or trying to find some minimal jobs, I imagine. There are no children around here, not that I know about. I haven't truly bothered to look, and Clarice is not truly in the here and now. She does drift the present and past, in and out, but most of the time, she lives inside her own thoughts. I'm thinking about the moment when I shall realize you are a memory I have willed to life because I'm so lone, so cold. She answers quietly, and I see her sad smile. Her dress is pale yellow today. It has seen much better days. Taking my shirt off, I place it round her delicate, thin shoulders. She's cold, but not lone. I tell her this. She agrees. For now, you sit beside me. You lie down alongside me in embrace and breathe this air, the very same air I breathe. But how long before you dissolve into nothing but another memory, leaving me? I tell her I'm not leaving her again, not even if she asks me to do it. Her words are true. I have let her go. My own deeds have turned like a sharp knife, slashing through my life's core, my very soul. My life has meant nothing ever since you removed yourself from it, I tell her, and she says, stirring from her silence, that she wasn't the one who left, not really. She just chose to hide away from me, so she would not have the chance to hold me back from letting me live my own big dream. She has drifted back to writing. Beside her, I sit, feeling the pain I know she has lived with, the pain due to a misunderstanding. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Sylvia. I'm just at the meeting. Can I call you back later? Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Frederika.
Does anyone have a question? Would anyone have a question? No? Thank you very, very much for a very special session, a book focus of Unforgotten by Frederika. You can expect much more from Frederika's pen because she is a very prolific writer and a constant presence on the internet, and her works are getting, I should say they've always been terrific, but they're becoming more and more sophisticated. I think we can soon expect a national recognition for Frederika's work. Thank you so much for that wonderful book event. Thank you, Mahesh, for joining us, and Isabel and Mario for that really powerful reading from Frederika's Unforgotten.